Night drone footage, explosions at Russian military sites, breaking news, headlines on screen. In a bold escalation of the war, Ukraine is striking deeper into Russian territory than ever before, launching a wave of long-range drone attacks targeting military facilities, fuel depots, and command centers. Map of Russia with impact zones marked Bryansk, Voronezh, Tatarstan, and Crimea. Over the past several days, Ukrainian drones have hit key targets in western and central Russia, including a missile storage site in Voronezh and a fuel refinery in Tatarstan, hundreds of miles from the front lines. Ukrainian drone footage, Ukrainian President Zelenskyy speaking at the press conference. President Zelenskyy has confirmed the strikes, calling them a legitimate response to ongoing Russian aggressions. He emphasized that Ukraine is targeting military infrastructure only, not civilians, and that these operations are part of Ukrainian strategy to weaken Russia's war machine from within. Kremlin spokesperson responding, headlines Russia vows retaliation. The Kremlin has condemned the strikes as act of terrorism, threatening retaliation and accusing NATO of providing the weapons and intelligence behind them, a charge the alliance strongly denies. NATO summit in Vilnius, world leaders gathering, flags waving. These strikes come as NATO leaders meet in Vilnius, Lithuania, to discuss the future of support for Ukraine. The summit has focused on increased air defense systems, longer-range weapons package, and fast-tracking Ukraine's path towards summit eventual NATO membership, a major sticking point for Russia. Speeches by NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, President Biden, UK Prime Minister. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg and the alliance said that is more united than ever and announced a new defense package including Patriot missile system, F-16 pilot training, and increased intelligence is sharing. Experts analyzing maps, footage of Russian supply lines being hit. Analysts say Ukraine's deep strikes are part of a new strategic doctrine aimed at disrupting Russia's logistic and morale ahead of a renewed push in the steppe. By targeting fuel depots, airbases, and command centers inside Russia, Kyiv is forcing Moscow to stretch its defense thin. Russian citizens evacuating near impact zone, interviews with civilians. Meanwhile, fear is growing among Russian civilians near the border as drone alarms now echo in cities that once felt distant from the war. Ukrainian engineers launching drones, mention of Western supply system. Ukraine's drone fleet, a mix of domestic technology and Western assistance, is proving to be a game changer. Reports suggest Kyiv is now proceeding long-range drones with a range of over 1,000 kilometers. Zelenskyy working with NATO leaders. As Ukraine presses its advantage from the air and as NATO bolsters support on the ground, the war appears to be entering a new and more dangerous phase. One that blurs the lines between front lines and homeland, between battlefield tactics and geopolitical brinkmanship. One thing is clear, Ukraine is taking the fight beyond the trench, and the world is watching how Moscow responds. Should NATO back Ukraine's deep strikes inside Russia? Stay with us for the latest on war in Ukraine, NATO diplomacy, and how this conflict is reshaping global security. Like, share, and subscribe for more updates.